Welcome to Orangeburg County.
In the southeastern region of the United States is a state known for its southern charm. Welcome to South Carolina, the Palmetto State. And in the heart of South Carolina is the city of Orangeburg.
Orangeburg is nestled between the state's capital, Columbia, and historic Charleston. Orangeburg County, explored in the 1600s, founded during the late 1700s, and established as a county in 1796. Orangeburg's iconic Edisto River is one of the longest-running flowing black-water rivers in North America, with over 250 miles from the Orangeburg Memorial Gardens to its Atlantic Ocean coast at Edisto Beach, South Carolina. Edisto River also serves as the backdrop for Orangeburg County's annual Festival of Roses. Orangeburg County is also the home of 4 major colleges and universities: Claflin University, South Carolina State University, Orangeburg Calhoun Technical College, and Southern Methodist College. Orangeburg County is also home to 4 Fortune 500 companies and continues to be an ideal location for business expansions, relocation, and new startups. Companies such as Volvo have chosen this area as its first automobile manufacturing plant in the United States. These companies from around the world have chosen Orangeburg County not only for its proximity to major markets and deep-water coastal ports, but because of supportive, affordable commercial space and a highly qualified workforce. In addition to many new companies, Orangeburg County continues to be highly productive in the area of agriculture, producing tons of produce each year. Welcome to Orangeburg County, South Carolina.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Barbara Johnson-Williams, and I'm president of the Orangeburg branch NAACP, one of the largest and oldest civil rights organizations. Good evening and welcome. My name is Barbara Johnson-Williams. I'm president of the Orangeburg branch NAACP, of the largest and oldest civil rights organization. We were founded in 1909, and our mission is to secure the political, education, social, and economic equality of rights in order to eliminate race-based discrimination and ensure the health and well-being of all persons. Let me at this time thank our partners, moderator Harvey Elwood, 93.7 FM, the People's Radio Station, Orangeburg Eliminate Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Beta Zeta Omega Chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Delta Lambda Chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Our forum town hall tonight is to educate voters about candidates' views on important issues, to stimulate voters' interest and participation in the upcoming election. To that end, we have invited you and all local candidates and others in our service area. We are so delighted that you have agreed to participate this evening. As some of you may already know, voting has begun. Early voting has begun. It started Monday, October 24th through November 5th from 8:30 to 6 p.m. I ask that you make your voice heard, show your power by going to the polls, and don't go alone. Take a friend, take a family member, take your neighbors, take your significant other, and your church member. But most of all, check your registration status to make certain that you are registered to vote and you are at the correct precinct. Tell everyone you know how crucial not only this election is, but all elections. Again, thank you one and all for being with us tonight. And at this time, I will turn the rest of our program over to our moderator, Mr. Elwood Harvey.
Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? Can everyone hear me? We are pleased and privileged to be a participant in this forum. We are no stranger to doing these kinds of events. And so what we're going to ask everyone, their indulgence, because this is a new technology, and there are some of us that have not yet signed on yet. Everyone will be afforded an opportunity to have 1.5 minute opening statement and a 1.5 minute closing statement. If an individual does not have an opponent that is a participant in the dialogue, they are allowed to answer questions, but with some limitation. If there's an opposition, then we will act appropriately as it pertains to the fact that we're going to give everybody equal time, I guess is what I'm saying. First, we would like to say who the names of the participants are, those that were listed in the form that's been handed to me. So we have Peggy Butler, who's a candidate for Secretary of State. Mark Hammond's name also appears. Jim Ulmer for House District 93. Gilda Cobb Hunter, House District 95. Russell Ott, House District 93. Justin Bamberg, House District 90. And Sharon Carter, House District 90. For the school board, we have at-large Ms. Rose Pelzer, at-large Deidre Sharrow. I hope I'm pronouncing everyone's name correctly. I know you guys will correct me. For school district number 1, Betty Pelzer. Sam Follow, seat 7, the Consolidated School District. Seat 7 also, Mary Ulmer. At-large, seat 9, Deborah Brunson. Rosemary Kraft, at-large 9, and Idella Clausen, District 5. Is there anyone, and Lisa Ellis, of course, candidate for Superintendent of Education. Is there anyone that we've left out? Very good. Secretary Peggy Butler, yes, I mentioned her. All right. We're going to start with the House members, if that's okay with everybody. I'm accustomed to seeing people, but it's not that's not the way they have it set up. Let's start off with House District 93, Russell Ott. And the question that was provided. Are you referring to me? Representative Ott? Okay. Can everyone hear me? Okay.
Yes.
But I don't see Representative Ott. We're going to start with Representative Justin Bamberg, because he's available, and we'll let the technology catch up as it is. There's a question that was provided for me from the NAACP about the legalization of marijuana, and where you stand on the issue of legalization of marijuana as it pertains to medical marijuana, and what's your position, Representative Ott, if you will, Representative Bamberg, if you will.
Hey, well, first I'd like to say thank you for having me. Looking forward to having the opportunity to formally serve with the Orangeburg County delegation and work closer with Representative Gilda Cobb Hunter. We need to pass medical marijuana. It's long been time to move this state forward. We have a bad habit of living backwards in this state, and there's a large part of the Republican Party that wants to keep us there. It's time to move forward. The science is there, the support is there, and if done the appropriate way, I think the citizens will benefit a lot from that, particularly with everything that's going on with opioid companies and addiction and overdoses and things like that. So I fully support the legalization of medical marijuana.
Will that be a part of your legislative agenda next term, starting in January?
So
if reelected.
I've been a proponent of medical marijuana. I've actually co-sponsored some of the medical marijuana bills and have worked with members of the Democratic Party to try and push that. And I plan to continue to do so. Yes, sir.
Okay, Representative Gilda Cobb Hunter, you have an opportunity to do an opening statement. I neglected to give you, just Representative Bamberg, an opening statement. I apologize for that.
It's okay.
I'll make it up to you, I promise. Representative Gilda Cobb Hunter, could you give us a brief opening, if you will? No more than a minute and a half. And then we're also going to ask you the same question about medical marijuana, if you will. Okay. All right. Well, Representative Russell Ott, are you there? Okay. All right. Jim Omer, Representative, someone seeking election office. Is he there? No. Sharon Carter, did she make it in? All right. If I'm going to do this. Oh, Representative Cobb Hunter is here. Representative Cobb Hunter, can you give us an opening statement of a minute and less than a minute and a half? And then the question is about the legalization of marijuana as you may see fit, whether or not you're for it or.
Sure. Thanks for having me. I support legalizing marijuana. I strongly support the move by President Biden, which is to expunge the record of those who are serving time for first offense marijuana possession. Let me say that because we seem to have a lot of candidates, the school board is, of course, very important. I would like to yield my time to the school board candidates and to our superintendent of education candidate. My opening and closing statements is that may the work I've done speak for me. I am running again because there is unfinished business. I would like to go back to finish that up. What I hope people will appreciate is that for the time that I've been there, I've tried to represent everybody. I am not perfect. The only commitment I made when I ran the first time was to do the best that I can. Please, whether you live in Orangeburg County, Dorchester, Calhoun, or any county, I want people to understand what is at stake in this election. I want you to call your family, friends everywhere, not just in South Carolina. The things that Democrats care about and what we want to do, it's important that nationwide we give President Biden some room to get things done that we want to see get done. So I'm encouraging people to call folk, especially in Florida and Georgia and North Carolina and Michigan and Wisconsin and especially Pennsylvania. We've got to make sure that we connect the dots between public policy and us getting what we want to do. To all the school board candidates, good luck to you. Remember, as long as you keep what's best for children, first and foremost, we'll all be all right. And to our candidate for superintendent, Lisa, I hope and pray that people will understand the importance of the role of superintendent of education and do everything they can to make sure that people are going to vote for a leader of our children, of handling the education of our children, by having somebody in there who knows how to do it. So thank you, Mr. Elwood, and y'all don't have to call on me for anything else for the rest of the evening. I will sit back and listen to what our candidates for education have to say. It's really important. Thank all y'all for being here, and thanks for what you are going to do.
Thank you, Representative Cobb Hunter. And in light of what you had just said, Representative Russell Ott, we hope that we can get him to come on. But Representative Justin Bamberg, if you'd like to give your closing statement now as well, and that'll give us an opportunity to roll over to the school board candidates, if you will, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I've served in the House for 8 years. Been very fortunate. I started at 26 years old, and much like Representative Cobb Hunter says, sometimes the work you've done speaks for itself. We have managed to get a 24-hour ER built within my district. We've managed to work on a lot of our rural roads, and really just continuing to put the people first. Orangeburg County has so much potential, and we can get there. We just have to do the work. We've got to be strategic with it. And I'm looking forward to having the opportunity to just continuing to fight. As a civil rights lawyer, I have fought certain battles. I've taken on the Sons of Confederate Veterans when it wasn't popular to do in the legal arena. And I have no problem fighting those fights. I bring that same tenacity with me to politics. And I think that we've got a good slate of candidates on the Democratic side. We've all had the opportunity to work with each other. And I think we're going to see big things happen if we continue moving forward instead of backwards. So I look forward to earning your vote, keeping your vote, and more importantly, just working to accomplish something great for the people.
Thank you so much. I'm still trying to connect some people together here. Jim Felder's trying to get in. Just everyone bear with me just for a moment, please.
Your voice, your vote. In our democracy, they matter. Make yours count. Get registered, learn the issues, and vote on or before November 8th. Visit vote411.org. This message is furnished by the National Association.
Women's Equality Day commemorates the 1920 certification of the 19th Amendment to the Constitution,
solidifying the right to vote for some American women.
But now we have fewer rights than we have had in decades.
We cannot celebrate Women's Equality Day because we are far from equal in our democracy.
Our lawmakers have failed to protect us.
So now we call on all our elected officials to restore our rights.
Specifically, we demand
voting rights legislation that would protect access to the ballot box,
especially for voters of color who are too often the target of voter suppression.
The Equal Rights Amendment must be added to the Constitution.
The required number of states have adopted the ERA.
But inaction from Congress to clear up the timeline issue has left the amendment unpublished.
Restoring reproductive freedoms for women and those who can become pregnant.
When we can no longer make reproductive decisions for our own bodies,
we are no longer equal individuals in our democracy.
This disproportionately impacts people of color and low-income communities.
Today is Women's Inequality Day, and our democracy requires us to speak out.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us. Join us. And demand our government not only represent us,
but include us as equals.
because women hold the power to create a more perfect democracy.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it. Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it. Gonna get it, gonna slip it, gonna cuff it. Check it, talk to doctor and share it. Gonna get it, gonna slip it, gonna cuff it. Check it, talk to doctor and share it.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. High blood pressure silently affects millions of Americans. Staying on top of your blood pressure is as simple as these 4 easy steps. Self-monitoring is power. Visit manageyourbp.org to learn more.
I wish I could see them as I'm doing this. Hi, everybody, and welcome back. We wanted to introduce the school board candidates as they are available at large. And each one of you are going to have 1 minute and a half to introduce yourselves. And if you'd like to go into some of your platform, that's perfectly all right. Can everyone hear me? We're going to start off with Mrs. Deidre Sharrow. Opening statement, 1.5 minute statement, if you will. Can everyone hear me? Nod if you can.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Deidre, 1.5 minutes, opening statement, if you will.
Sounds good.
Can you hear me?
Good. It looks like
Ms.
Brunson is saying she can't hear.
Reverend Oliver, she's muted. You have to unmute your mic.
Good
your
afternoon.
Your microphone is muted. Your mic. Right. Your mic is.
Can you hear me? Okay.
I can't hear her.
Good evening, all.
Who's we?
I'm Deidre Sharrow. I am a Orangeburg, South Carolina native, a proud graduate of Orangeburg Wilkinson High School, 2002. I am running for the at-large seat 9 for the school board. I am, well, not newly back to the county, but I left Orangeburg for about 13 years. I've been back for 2 years. And in that, I wanted to be a part of the change and growth that is Orangeburg County. As Mr. Bamberg said, we do have a culture of living backwards. And I want to be a part of pushing Orangeburg County forward, including our school district. The growth surrounding our county revolves around our schools and our students. And I want to be a part of that change in pushing us to be not only a local statistic, but a national thriving school district within the nation. Thank you. Mr. Earlwood, can you hear me or could you hear?
Yes. Good evening. I am Mary Berry Ulmer, and I'm running for re-election to the Orangeburg County School Board. I'm a native of Orangeburg County, Bowman, South Carolina, a graduate of Bowman High School, a graduate of Claflin University, a graduate of South Carolina State University, and I've done further studies at OC Tech, the College of Charleston, and Charleston Southern University. I'm a retired educator with 34 plus years in the public education school system to include Jasper County, Beaufort County, Orangeburg, 3 at the time, returned to Orangeburg, and it became Orangeburg Consolidated School District 3, in which I retired from Lake Marion High School. I've served on the board starting in 2007. In 2011, I was elected as the board chair, and I served until 2018. And my board experience also carries over to the South Carolina School Board of Directors, where I serve as Region 7 Director for Orangeburg, Calhoun, and Sumter counties. I serve on the South Carolina School Board Association School Board Insurance Trust. And I have served as leader to the National Advocacy Conference to lead the South Carolina delegation for U.S. Congressman Clyburn. Thank you.
Lodge seat number 9. Opening statement, 1 minute and a half. Ms. Brunson, Deborah Brunson. Can you hear us? Ms. Brunson? She has some issues.
I can't hear
we can hear you now. Go ahead. We can hear you now. Can you hear us? We can hear you. We can hear you.
I can't hear anything.
We can. Reverend Oliver, there's some technicalities we're dealing with there. Very unfortunate. Well, okay, Sam Follow. Do you have an opening statement? 1 minute and one and a half minute?
I don't hear anything. I can't hear anything.
We can hear you.
You see certain things get reincarnated in your children. My daughter is very much inspired by my wife's artistic pursuits. So my daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around, and I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there. You see certain things get reincarnated in your children. My daughter is very much inspired by my wife's artistic pursuits. So my daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around. And I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours.
Well, good evening to everyone, and thank you so much for those of you that have tuned in for this political forum. Unfortunately, this evening there have been a number of technical difficulties that we've been experiencing, so we apologize to our community and to those of you that are viewing, and those of the participants, and those of the sponsors that have entrusted that this would be a great forum for information to make sure that you're prepared and equipped with the knowledge that you need to vote according to what you believe those particular candidates will do in supporting the best interests of our communities. Please understand that the technical difficulties of our broadcast in no way reflect upon the local Orangeburg chapter of the NAACP or any of the sororities or fraternities or any of the participants tonight. Is just something that has occurred, and we feel that it will be best to regroup and then represent this at another date, hopefully before the vote. But we want you to be encouraged. Early voting is open. Go out, be informed, be engaged, because your vote is your voice. If you don't exercise your vote, then basically you are muzzling or muting your voice, and your voice matters and your vote counts. Okay, so again, thank you so much for tuning in this evening. We trust that there will be another opportunity that you'll have to meet with the candidates that are running in this upcoming election. Until then, we're signing off. Thank you very much and have a good night.